I know that in this room, and among those listening from afar, there are souls exhausted from pretending to be strong. There are unspoken cries. There are questions of why, to which the answer seems to be the silence of heaven. Perhaps you are feeling the weight of loneliness, of persistent pain you cannot name. My heart goes out to those silently enduring pain, who are trying to remain strong while feeling broken inside. I understand that weakness is not a flaw, but sometimes it is the starting point for something much deeper. But I want us to discover a liberating truth together. God does not demand a joyful song from us when our hearts are broken. He gives us a hymn book, and within it are even the notes of lament. The Psalms are a safe space where God Himself gives us the language to express even our darkest emotions. He wants to hear it all. From a sigh to a sobbing cry. This is an unchanging promise. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34, verse 18. This is not just a comforting statement, but a truth about the nature of God, who understands and walks with us through every low note of life. Consider the life of King David. He was a great warrior, a king chosen by God, but he also endured countless sorrows, losses, and failures. In his most desperate moments, David did not pretend to be strong. He poured out his heart in the Psalms, lamenting, asking God how long, and expressing his fears. Yet, through those very laments, he found the strength to rise and continue walking in faith. This week, find a psalm that truly expresses your heart's cry and read it every morning. Do not be afraid to reveal your weakness. It is a step of faith, opening the door to God's healing. We will not shy away from difficult emotions. Instead, we will learn to turn our very sighs into a prayer, an authentic melody before God. Now that we have found the first notes to express our hearts, let us explore together how the Psalms transform those laments into a powerful dialogue with God. Psalm 23 is a familiar symphony, a gentle melody of trust and peace. Perhaps you have heard it many times, but today, let it resonate deeply within your heart as a reminder that even when you are lost in the valley of shadows, there is a good shepherd leading you. I understand that life often makes us feel like lost sheep, vulnerable and directionless. The unchanging promise in Psalm 23 is, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Psalm 23. Verse 1. This is a firm foundation, a commitment to complete provision and protection from God. He not only meets our physical needs, but also cares for our souls, leading us in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Even when facing death, we need not fear, for He is with us. His rod and His staff comfort us. This is the voice of absolute security that we can find in God. Another story in the Bible tells of Hannah, who wept in the temple due to her barrenness. She not only pleaded but poured out her entire heart before God, expressing her deepest longing. Just as a shepherd leads, God listened and blessed her with a son, Samuel. Hannah used her notes of lament to find a safe voice in God's presence. And ultimately, that lament transformed into a song of praise. Try this step of faith this week. Spend 5 minutes each day in quiet reflection, reading Psalm 23, focusing on each verse, and sensing the shepherd's care, having found a safe voice in the shepherd. Let us now step into a stronger note, the note of protection and refuge. Life always contains threats, anxieties, and invisible fears that can shake our faith. I understand that there are times when you feel the world around you is collapsing, and you are searching for a fortress, an unshakable sanctuary. Perhaps you feel precarious, like a small boat in a stormy sea. Psalm 91 is a mighty anthem of divine protection, an unchanging promise of God's shelter. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Psalm 91, verses 1-2. This is not just a promise, but a powerful declaration of God's supreme power to protect His children from all harm, pestilence, and the snares of the enemy. He is the most secure fortress, a place where no power can intrude. Remember the image of Moses and the Israelites in the wilderness. They faced countless dangers, from venomous snakes to fierce enemies. But it was in those moments that God fulfilled His promise in Psalm 91, becoming a cloud to shelter them by day and a pillar of fire to guide them by night. They experienced God's miraculous protection, and God's very presence was a steadfast fortress for His people. That is a story of overcoming adversity, a living testament to how God always keeps His promises. Your step of faith is today. Write down your biggest fear, and next to it, write Psalm 91, verses 1-2, as a declaration of your refuge in God. As we rest in God's fortress, let us now lift our eyes to heaven, seeking help from an unfailing source. Life always presents mountains to climb and deep valleys to traverse. Perhaps you feel like you are climbing a steep mountain, exhausted and unable to see the destination, or maybe you are in a dark valley, wondering if the light will ever reach you. My heart goes out to those who are discouraged, who feel the burden on their shoulders is too heavy. Psalm 121 is a melody of upliftment and hope, an unchanging promise that our help comes from the Lord. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth. Psalm 121, verses 1-2. This promise is a powerful reminder that God never slumbers or forgets us. He is the great Creator who holds the entire universe in His hands, and He cares about every smallest detail of your life. His eyes are always watching, His feet always keeping us from stumbling. Paul, a great apostle, faced countless trials, beatings, imprisonment, shipwrecks, and abandonment. But he always lifted his eyes to the Lord, trusting in His help. Even when all doors seemed closed, he found the strength to continue preaching the gospel. Paul's story shows that even in seemingly hopeless situations, help from God is always there for those who look to Him. Your step of faith is when you feel anxious or insecure. Close your eyes and imagine lifting your eyes to heaven. Then read Psalm 121, verses 1-2 aloud. Let those words become an anchor for your soul.